Shalom. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rechakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to all you hopeful like Akim, pushing out this word in sincerity and in truth throughout the four corners of the earth. And a sincere shalom to you, Akim and Aqua, for listening and learning, preparing yourselves here in these last days. And to the entire household of faith, I want to say shalom. This is brother Dequar from the DC camp. Come back at you with another lesson. And I'm entitled this one, Obedience is Better Than Sacrifice. You know, growing up, you know, in the church, you know, or in the household, we heard this saying a lot, you know, but we never really truly understood that, okay? But when you actually dig into the story, you get a better understanding of what the Lord means by that, you know? Because ultimately, obedience is the highest form of worship to the Lord. Because, you know, the sacrifices, which was the sacrifices of a ram, you know, a dove, you know, the sacrifices of sins, you know, that was a part of the law, you know, that the Lord added so that we wouldn't be destroyed when we sinned. But ultimately, what the Lord wanted was for us to be obedient, for us to serve him, okay? So, you know, Lord willing, you know, this lesson could be edifying. Before I do that, let me actually go into both of those words. I want to get the word. Matter of fact, let me get this first, all right? This is 1 Samuel 15 and verse 22. It says, "And Samuel said, have Yahweh as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of Yahweh?" Yeah, and that was a question. You know, does the Lord have pleasure, okay? Does he have delight in your offerings and sacrifices as he does in you simply obeying his voice? What would you prefer? You know, would you for instance, someone does you know, someone hurts you, you know, and then they give you, you know, something to make it up, if you will. Would you rather would you rather them never have hurt you, or would you know, are you just okay with, you know, them making it up to you, you know? What is that? I just lost it. 1 second. 15. Okay, I'm back. You know, and this is dealing with you know, Samuel. He was supposed to destroy those Edomites, man, and he didn't do that. When you read the whole chapter, shoot, 22, and I'm gonna keep going. It says, "Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams." You see, so hearkening means listen. The Lord rather you listen to him the first time. Okay, now let me get that word sacrifices. The word is zabak. All right, it just says sacrifice. I want to look up the definition. It says the act of slaughtering an animal or person or surrendering a possession as an offering to a deity. All right. It also goes into Hamashiach's offering himself as a crucifixion. All right, here we go. 3. It says an act of giving up something valued for the sake of something else regarded as more important or worthy. This is moving into allow. Oh, this is actually talking about. Nope. Offer or kill as a religious sacrifice. Okay. Which is that's the one that's talking about. And then to obey or obeying, samai. It says to hear, listen, or shemai. Yeah, shemai. To hear, listen, or obey. All right, to give heed. To hear with intention or interest, listen to. All right, to understand. It says to submit. This is the definition. To submit to the authority of someone or comply with a law. All right, to do something someone says. All right, because ultimately the Lord told you to keep the laws. You know, this is let me keep going. verse 23. 1 Samuel 15, verse 23 says, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of Yahweh, he has also rejected thee from being king. And like I said, this was talking to King Saul, you know? And he was rebellious by not putting them to death. He didn't listen or hearken to the will of the Lord and put his will above the Lord. Okay? Now, what people like to do is, they would put their will above the Lord's will, and then they would just, they would, they catered to the flesh, and then they would, make a sacrifice afterwards, which is why the Lord ultimately got rid of that. But what really has the Lord need of that? All right? This is, what is that? I know it's in Psalms. Yep. This is Psalm 50 and verse 8. It says, I will not reprove thee for thy sacrifices or thy burnt offerings to have been continually before me. I will take no bullock out of thy house, nor he goats out of thy folds. For every beast of the forest is mine, and the cattle upon 1,000 hills. I know all the fowls, excuse me, I know all the fowls of the mountains, and the wild beasts of the field are mine. If I were hungry, I would not tell thee, for the world is mine, and the fullness thereof. Will I eat the flesh of bulls, or drink the blood of goats? Exactly. So what ultimately are you doing? You giving the Lord something that already belongs to him. He wants you to be in compliance. The first time. Now, if that is something that he desired, then we would do it. But see, a man after the Most High's own heart, he understood that wasn't what the main thing that the Lord desired. This is Psalm 51, verse 16. It says, for thou desirest not sacrifice, else would I give it. Thou delightest not in burnt offering. The sacrifices of the Most High are of a broken spirit and a broken and contrite heart. O Most High, thou wilt not despise. Yeah, the Lord won't. He's nigh unto those that are of a broken heart and a contrite spirit. All right, he won't despise those. And that's why now we have what? We giving our lives as the living sacrifices. There's no more sacrifice of bulls and bullocks, after the sacrifice of Yahuwah. Now we ought to just be obedient unto Yahuwah. This is why, I'm going to do a lesson on that. This is why, we're not really under the law. We're under Yahuwah, but we ought to be obedient unto Yahuwah. What else we got? This is Deuteronomy 10 and verse 12. It says, and now Israel, Yasharallah, what doth Yahweh thy power require of thee, but to fear Yahweh thy power, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve him, and to serve Yahweh thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul. You see that? That's what the Lord actually requires of us, to love him, and to walk in his ways, to fear him. All right? And what is the highest form of fear? The best way to show you fear the Lord is to what? Be obedient to him. The greatest visible evidence of the fear of the Lord is obedience to him, man. You see? That's how you walk with the Lord. All right? You can't just disobey God and then slap an offering on it and everything be fine, man. Cause was your heart right? Did you really love him? Let me go actually to that. All right, keep going. This is verse 13. It says, to keep the commandments of Yahweh and his statutes, which I command thee this day, for thy good. Because ultimately, what the Lord is, telling us to do is for our good. You know? Get some more. This is Psalm 40 and verse 6. It says, sacrifice and offering thou didst not desire. Mine ears hast thou opened. Burnt offering and sin hast thou not required. So, yeah. So, like, burnt offering and sin offering hast thou not required. You know? This is what is, like I said, man, the that law was there for our protection. That didn't do anything for the Lord. All right? He didn't have any need of it. Okay? Look, because there's no remission of sin without blood. So it was even going to be the blood of those bullocks, those doves, which was the doves was the Lord's favorite, or it was going to be your blood, man. So in order for your blood not to have been shed, the Lord allowed that provision to be in place, man. Okay, yeah, I wanted to go to it. And ultimately, he sent Yahuwah, which Yahuwah, his sacrifice was complete obedience. Okay? What is that? Oh. Right. This is verse 7. It says, then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me. I delight to do thy will. O my power, yeah, the law is within my heart. You know? And who comes in the volume of the book? Who is the volume of the book? Is Yahuwah. And he came to do the will of Yahuwah. Of Yahweh. And guess what? This is how you know that they're not the same entity, first of all. You know, but Yahuwah said what? That not do us not his will, but your will. Talking about not Yahuwah's will, but Yahweh's will. He was putting Yahweh's will over his. Because he wanted that cup to be taken away from him, man. You know? But he was obedient. You see? This is Isaiah 1 verse 11. It says, to what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me, saith Yahuwah? I am full of burnt offerings of rams and the fat of fed beasts, and I delight not in the blood of bullocks or of lambs or of he goats. When ye come to appear before me, who have required this at your hand to tread my courts? Bring no more vain oblations. You see? Because it became vain. He said he's full of it. It got to the point where it was happening constantly, man. To the point where it was defeating its original purpose, man. Because it was not reforming you. My uncle had said because guess what? Obedience requires discipline. It requires work. You know? A sacrifice, that if you just got it to do, it's not really a sacrifice, man. You're not giving up nothing of value. He said that, my uncle had said that discipline comes from necessity. You know, when your back is against the wall. And what happens if you don't? That's why that that law is done away now. You know. Now we don't have that to fall back on. We have to fall back on, Yahuwah, his mercy. All right. Being a good and faithful servant. You know? So Yahweh said he was full of those offerings, man. It says, bring no more vain oblations. Incense is an abomination unto me. The new moons and Sabbaths, the calling of assemblies, I cannot away with. It is iniquity, even the solemn meetings. Yeah, even the high holy days was an abomination unto the Lord at the time. It says your new moons and your appointed feasts my soul hateth. They are a trouble unto me. I am weary to bear them. And when ye spread forth your hands, I will hide my eyes from you. Yeah, when they praying. Yeah, when you make many prayers, I will not hear. Your hands are full of blood. Wash you, make you clean, put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil. See, this is what the Lord is saying. That's what he wanted. He wanted you to cease to do evil, not just all right, I did it, so I'm gonna make a sacrifice, man. Which is why it makes so much sense now, the way it is set up, man. You know, it says, learn to do well, seek judgment, relieve the oppressed, judge the fatherless, plead for the widow. Okay, this is what the Lord wanted. And we could go on and on. I'm gonna get a few more. You know, because ultimately the Lord he want that pure conscience towards him, man. You know, he wanted you to do well, to do right. This is Proverbs 21 verse 3. It says, to do justice and judgment is more acceptable to Yahweh than the sacrifice, man. You got for instance, you got these nah, I don't want to use that example. You know. But like, man, it's crazy. All right, let me keep going. This is Jeremiah 7 verse 23. It says, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the power of Israel, put your burnt offerings unto your sacrifices and eat flesh. For I spake not unto your fathers, nor commanded them in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt concerning burnt offerings or sacrifices. No, he did not. He says, but this thing commanded I them, saying, obey my voice, and I will be your power, and ye shall be my people. And walk ye in all the ways that I have commanded you, that it may be well unto you. You see? So the Lord constantly keep trying to bring you back to, just obey my voice. It's for your own good, you know. It's for the good of your people, your nation, man. You know, the laws, statutes. He gave that to us so that we could be that separated in that righteous nation, man. You know. This is Hosea. Hosea 6 verse 6. It says, for I desired mercy and not sacrifice, and the knowledge of the Most High more than burnt offerings. You see that? The knowledge of the Most High, which is why Yahuwah, he says, learn of me. You know? It says, but they, like men, have transgressed the covenant. They have dealt treacherously against me. Because, look, man, the Lord is the that's the whole duty of man, is to serve him, to love the Lord. But you was putting your wants before him. You know? You dealt treacherous. It was a one-way relationship, if you will, man. You know? Now I'm going to go to Micah 6 verse 6. It says, wherewith shall I come before Yahweh and bow myself before the high power? Shall I come before him with burnt offerings, with calves of a year old? Will Yahweh be pleased with 1,000 of rams, or with 10,000 of rivers of oil? Shall I give my firstborn for the transgression? For my transgression, the fruit of my body for the sin of my soul? He hath showed thee, O man, what is good, and what doth Yahweh require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy power. You see, the thing is, they was missing the whole point. We were missing the whole point. You know? And this is why the Lord has done away with that. And now you got to follow the Lord. You got to follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth, man. This is Ecclesiastes 5. Do I want that one? Nah, I'm going to leave that one out. All right, but that was going into the sacrifice of foods, man. Because you got people that come up, you know, and they just, everybody got an opinion. That's what this world allows, man. The Lord just wants you to be obedient, you know? And they give the sacrifice of fools as if they doing themselves. Some people like, see, I would have listened if this and that and that. You know what I'm saying? As if that, that don't do anything for the Lord. You only hurt yourself. This is Exodus 19 verse 5. It says, now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. You see, if we would have just did what the Lord said from the beginning, we would have been that peculiar treasure. You know, the Lord chose us because He loved us, man. All right. This is Matthew 12 verse 7. It says, but if ye had known what this meaneth, I will have mercy and not sacrifice, ye would not have condemned the guiltless. And that's why Yahuwah, he was telling them, man, you forgot the weightier matters of the law. All right. You was so into the ceremonial or the rituals, if you will. All right. And I'll say that because some people, they'll take that and run with it, But the religious ceremonies, the rituals, they forgot the weightier matters of the law, mercy. All right. And he said what? That he will have mercy and not sacrifice. And if you understood that, you would not have condemned the guiltless. All right. And that's what they did with Yahuwah. They was talking about he was blaspheming the law. But what did he do? This is Matthew 23, verse 23. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye pay tithes of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye have to done, and not to leave the other undone. So they was doing the tithes, They was giving to the Lord, what he said to give them to them into the law, but they forgot what was the weightier matters of the law. You see? This is Mark 12 and 33. It says, and to love him with all the heart and with all the understanding and with all the soul and with all the strength, and to love his neighbor as himself is more than all whole burnt offerings and sacrifices. All right? This is what the Lord is talking about here. The Lord is talking about a change, of your heart, man. If you refuse to let him change your heart because you want to keep on in your sin, you ain't really asking for forgiveness. You just asking for permission to keep the sin that pleases you, man. And then the Lord not going to grant that. There's no sacrifice for that, man. But if you let the Lord change your desire, your behavior, your heart, then your behavior, it might not immediately follow, but eventually it's going to be progress, man. And that's what the Lord wants. The Lord wants your heart, man. All right, the law of sacrifice, it doesn't change your attitude towards sin, okay? Like now, that's why we follow the what he said. Oh, damn. I think it's John the 4th chapter. Oh yeah, they want us to worship him in spirit and in truth, man. All right. Your Hebrews 10 goes into the volume of the book again. But that's pretty much the point that I wanted to touch on. I don't want to make it too long. But yeah, obedience is better than sacrifice, because that's what the Lord requires you to just listen, to hearken unto him. All right? Those things is more important. All right? So, with that, Lord willing, that was edifying. To the next lesson, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham Kakadash. To the next one, I want to say Shalom.